Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online showcase challenge. We're back once again with Eldrazi Ramp on the draw for game one. I will keep this. So, we definitely revealed Devourer, we definitely played Gemstone. We do want a green source, at the very least a land. The question is, do we cut the Talisman or a Sprawl? We also could cut Devourer, but that then makes it so we can't find a lab. I'd say probably a Talisman, yeah. Leaves our options open. And if you're splashing in the background, that's my turtle being weird. Alright, let's see what we got. Sporadic Springs. Could be Belcher. But more likely going to be something like Grinding Station. Trigger. Well, there's the lab. There's also the green source. I mean, we go lab, we go we go lab, we go talisman, we go rumble. And lab does get us the double colorless, so lab it is. Draw. Lab. Imprint. Talisman. And rumble. There's KGC. And pass. So if this is Grinding Station, we're off to a good start with a turn 2 KGC. Darkslick Shores. Well, that was unexpected. So, what the hell am I playing against now? Takes KGC, I'd imagine. Unless they have a force. Because it could be Murktide. Preordain again. Darkslick Shores. I don't think Murktide plays that. Could be wrong, though. Huh. Draw. Sowing Mycospawn. Yeah, I'll cast it. Right now, no reason to use the command as a permission spells. We already have them tapped down and opponent scoops it up. Alright, we'll take the win. Still not entirely sure what we're playing against, though. Looks something control-esque. So probably should bring in Dismember. And K-Return. If I had to wager, I guess. Cut the Ghost Quarter and run it back like that. Maybe I'm wrong for cutting the Karn without enough information, but based on what we're seeing, I think it's a fair assumption that Karn may not be the best into the matchup. Opponent's going to bring in, at the very least, Consigned Memory. I mean, 4 of is running like... Well, not 4 of, but like, what, 3.2 is running like over 50% of decks, and basically anything that's blue. Butter, stop playing with wires. We could keep this. Elaborate Temple's good. We have a Devourer, so I'll keep. Would have liked an additional land. Devourer and pass. Shores, Thoughtseize. Probably takes the command if I was willing to bet. I mean, it's the card with the most potential in hand right now based on the Devour reveal. Because we have 7 hits off the top, though I'll take any land, realistically speaking. Our preference, of course, being Ugin's Lab. Takes the Dismember. Interesting. That tells me they probably have a Harbinger in hand. We do whiff on our other options, so I think I'll take the Commercial District. Bit unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Trigger. Devour to Grave. We don't need another Devourer right now. I need lands. What are you doing down there, sir? Why are you pacing? Is that a Froge? It's Froge. Okay. Another command. I mean, we could X equals 1, but I think we just go Talisman here, Force check, no Force, and pass. I mean, if they play a Harbinger or one land out of a Sowing Myco spawn, they have to have a Harbinger. That's the only explanation why they take the Dismember, and they did. That's my only thought. We'll take the 1, they draw a card. I mean, if they don't, then we have a Command X2 as permission. Here's a land, fetch. Yeah, this feels like a Harbinger. Especially grabbing a basic? No. I mean, Thoughtseize needs to grab the command here. It's otherwise Thoughtseize proof, but I think command is correct. There's also an argument to me just playing the Sowing Myco spawn in order to eat a Consign. Grab a Temple. Yeah, so taking command's correct. They're holding up a counterspell clearly. Sprawl. Blue. So, I mean, do we play into the Myco spawn and see if they have a Consign, or do we hold the command and do that instead? So my Myco spawn does get us. I'll pass. We'll use the command as a permission spell. Them knowing what we have in hand makes it a bit more difficult. I would like this to resolve, though. Tempted to have played it during upkeep. I think we'll use it now, though. And then pass, so let's see what they have. Just a, really? A hard cast Force. That's interesting. So unless you have a blue, it could still be Consigned, but gets me a body at least. We'll cast the Sowing Myco spawn. Actually, we do have 6. Hold up. Almost missed that. I do want a basic Forest as well in case of a Harbinger. So Forest. We'll kick a Myco spawn. I'll get rid of your basic, actually. Again, relevant if you end up having Harbinger, but it doesn't look like you do. We could grab Ugin's Lab to insulate the Devourer from another Thoughtseize. Now, the chance of them having a third Thoughtseize is low, but not 0. The alternative is, of course, Cavernous Souls, which I think is correct here. Eldrazi. Guaranteeing the body on board will be relevant. Because now even if they play, let's say, a Murktide, then it won't matter. Because Murktide will get exiled. There's Spellbomb. We'll pass. I mean, if they attack, we snap block. As long as they don't float it, of course. If they float it, then it is what it is. Alright, now guaranteed bodies on board. And in this matchup, that is relevant. Yes, but irrelevant. Do you know what statistical relevance is? He's like, no, I do not. What? What are your thoughts on Magic? He's like, you should pay less attention to that and more attention to me. Yeah, is that so? He's become very talkative recently, which I'm not complaining about. I like my cats talkative. Yeah. Hi, sir. I'll take the hit. Not that we can really stop them. No playing with wires, though, sir. There's the Harbinger. We knew that was coming eventually. Spell Bomb as well. Hi. Do we get a land? There's a land. Well, there is a reason why we got rid of their swamp. And this is why. Hi. Yes, you're very cute. But please stop rubbing up against the mic. Clearly he's trying to say something. I mean, at this point in time, there's no reason for me not to just grab temples. So yeah, I'll just grab a temple. And pass. I mean, if they were to attack with both Harbinger and Frog, which one are we going to block? Definitely the Harbinger. We'll have to flip the Frog otherwise. I think we do apply pressure here. Down to 11. And pass. How you doing, big boy? You're just standing next to the mic, just staring at me. He's like, give attention. No more magic, just attention to me. Thankfully, sir, in this matchup, I can pay plenty attention to you, because once it's my turn, that's pretty much it. Or once the opponent's turn, it's pretty much it. We just kind of pass. We don't usually have too much to do. We'll take a hit. I mean, opponents pretty much lock themselves out of future interaction, as well as Murktide. Second Harbinger is fine. Oof. Actually, not oof. Yeah, better not oof. No reason not to cast it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're one short, which has been unfortunate, but not the end of the world. So we go K return. Do you have a force? Pumps the frog, that's fine. Harbinger's down. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, you. No playing with wires. Lethal's now on board. You. Stop playing with wires. His favorite pastime. Hey. Stop. Yes, you. I see you. You see me. You know I'm talking to you. So that suggests that they have a blocker. You want lap time? Come on. Ooh, don't fall. Alright, there we go. Yes, I will take the hit. And unless you have another Harbinger, we're going to attempt to exile and get a body on board. I'll be able to fetch. Count on frogs. So this is a Murktide. But Murktide gets exiled. So it looks like they're holding up a consign to memory? Question mark? Yes, that's fine. End step fetch. And Stomping Grounds tapped. Alright. Four, 5, 6, 7. I mean, I want to exile the frog here, because if they do some shenanigans, we can always just clear. I'm just going to do this. Really? There's consign, so I was right to assume that. And so we're just going to clear them. Oh, they exiled, right? Forgot about that for a second. Like, why you know dead? Ah, yes. Graveyard gone. So we were right about the consign after all. I mean, I could attack him with both Myco spawns. Allows us a Karn EE clear. Forces to hold back both blockers. Yeah, we'll do that. So yeah, now if they attack... Oh, they have lethal. Oh, no. Damn. Because they pitch a frog, float. Really? Why no do that? Hold up. Why not pitch a frog and float? What were they afraid of? Huh. Interesting. Skipping phases while lagging. Well, that's unfortunate. So, I mean, now we have the K command. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could X equals 3, get rid of, or we could X equals 2, get rid of frog. And that's lethal damage. Sorry, friend, but it is what it is. And if worse comes to worse and they counter it, we have KGC, which can grab Tormod's Crypt. So that way frog can't float. GG's. Alright, we got there. Could be due to opponent making a mistake. Could be due to MTGO. Hard to say. But I'll take the W. With that said, we'll be back for round 2. Alright, and we're back for round 2 on the play for game 1. I mean, it's a bit slow, but it is keepable, especially in the energy, so we'll keep. Windswept Heath, Commercial District, Forest. We go Talisman or Rumble, depending on what we need in the moment. Command, and return are available, so it's very reactive. That's okay. We'll give opponent a few minutes, see if they are currently present. Looks like they are. They'll keep their opening 7. Unswept Teeth, pass. Opponent has a pause on my main phase. Interesting. I feel like the pauses that a person has tells them a lot about either what deck they play or what deck they play against a lot. I know for me, like, upkeep triggers specifically, upkeep stops specifically for, like, liquid metal coating. Okay, blue-black. Could be Murktide again. Windswept Teeth. Fetch. Commercial District. Trigger. Sanctum of Ugin. We could keep this on top. It is another colorless source. Play Talisman of Curiosity. So either going to force or spell snare it. I'm finding a spell snare, that way Rumble can come through. So it does look like Murktide. Spell snare. Yep. Okay. And pass. Okay, next turn we go Forest, Talisman, Rumble. Most likely. Ping cost. Thoughtseize. I imagine you take Command. There might be an argument for you taking Rumble here instead, but I think Command is correct. I was thinking. Excuse me. Allergies been kicking my butt the last few days. Probably getting warmer again. I think I've been taking antihistamines, so I'm not like dead to the world, because like it can get bad sometimes. If I sound congested, that is why. Preordain's fine. So yeah, Preordain's a pretty good sign of Murktide at this point. Utopia Sprawl. We like a Utopia Sprawl. And blue. Talisman. Rumble. Do you have Force? Force check? There's Force. Yep. We'll pass. So now we're top deck, which isn't great, but like they haven't really presented much pressure either. This could be a Murktide. 'Tis a frog. We have return. We can set up. So my Mega Spawn, that's only 5, unfortunately. But I think we do knock them out of a potential Murktide by going Bojuka Bog. Bojuka Bog, target you. We're up to 6, which does mean that we are short on 7 now if we do draw into a 7-mana value spell. It's a little bit of a downside, but I think worth it given the situation. It means we can snap block Frog with Myco. Though, maybe we let them get a hit in, that we can threaten with the return. It's a thought. They would have to pitch all 3 cards in hand in order to kill the Myco, which I think I would be kind of okay with if they want to do that. Leaves them empty-handed. They might just pitch 2 and float. That's also an option. Looks like that's what they're doing. So 2 float, hit me for 3, draw a card. Yep. Okay. The frog hits. Draw a card. So we do need to deal with the frog at some point. 1 card in hand, draw. I will actually. We could sweep board. Let's go to tax. Two, three. I mean, whether or not this resolves, the frog still dies. We draw 2 and potentially get a 3rd card. Basically a draw 3. And evoke. Draw 2. If they have a Bowmaster, I mean, that's fine. You can hit me for 2, but then it gets swept, so probably don't want to play a Bowmaster if you got it. Could counter the body, but that does nothing. Like, the frog dies, friend. There's no getting it back. Ugh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could trigger it. I mean, we probably should to get into something like probably a Devourer. Or maybe not. We don't have any other color sources. Maybe a World Breaker. Yeah, that we always could go another Myco Spawn, but let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. We also could just go another Null Drift. I think Null Drift is right. Sweep. ETB. And tapped. Pass. So next time we just Null Drift. Do you have a Bowmast? Huh. So they look at the top 4, separate them into a face-down pile and a face-up pile. Which one's which? So I can give you a Murktide. So is this... Which one's which? Face down pile and a face up pile. Put 1 pile in the hand, the other into your graveyard. I mean, if I just go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want Murktide into yard is the thing. It's like maybe this. Because if 1, 2, 3, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, they would have the Murktide. So I do want Murktide into yard. Like that. So it takes the Murktide. That's a bit annoying. So Murktide fetch unknown. Fetch. Sewers. I mean, it's a small Murktide, thankfully. Sauron's Ransom's interesting to see. I do wish Moto was more clear on which cards were face up and face down. A little bit annoying. Because I still don't know which were which. Emrakul. One short? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes. Cast. Triggers. And pass. So no counterspell in hand. What's the last card, I wonder? No reason to block here. I'll take the 5. Down to 11. Land. Draw. K-return. Play a temple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Emrakul. Do you have a counterspell? Opponent scoops it up. So Murktide once again. Win for game 1. Dismember K returns, remove from sideboard, and bring Karns in, and cut Ghost Quarter. Run it back. Ooh, it is 11. I need to post my videos. Alright. Opponent's still going to sideboard. I mean, they bring in Harbingers, they bring Consigns. That's about it. At least from what I'm surmising. I guess they could have, like, Break the Ice, but that'd be a bit more uncommon. Alright. Video from yesterday's up. Good stuff. Bone's still thinking. Definitely in the tank. Yeah, it's nice to see Murktide back. It feels 1,000% more manageable than, like, an early Murktide is much more manageable than, like, an early Oculus. Personally, I found both matches to be pretty free for the most part, outside of like a turn 2 Unearthed Oculus, but we could keep this. It's not a great hand, but it's not bad either. Green source would be nice. If we don't get a green source, then what? Huh. And there are 10 hits, Devourer. We'll keep it. But Mulligan's the 6 anyways. I will reveal Devourer and pass. Double command's nice. Misty Rain, do they fetch for a Thoughtseize on 1? No. Preordained Tameo. Okay, Tameo's fine. There's Lab, there's Windswept. We want green sources. So Windswept Teeth. So we go Windswept Teeth, Fetch, Forest, Utopia Sprawl on red. Do you force the Utopia Sprawl? You do not. Red, pass. And pass. We have Cavernous Souls, Malevolent Rumble. I'm going to guess since they play the Tameo, they likely don't have a Spell Snare. We also could just go Command X1, XL Tameo, or threaten to at least. 'Tis a thought. Second land, so they have a counter spell most likely. Let's play Cavern. Name Eldrazi. Yeah, I think we do use this as a permission spell. We'll pass. Draws a card. We could force check here. But I want the Mycospawn to resolve, so I'm going to literally let that pass. And draw. Beginning of combat. I will command here. I'm dumb as bricks. Pass. Me. Want to force check. Me. Wait 1 second. I don't have double colorless. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, they still have a counter spell, so probably didn't want to play the Rumble into that. Clearly, I'm a bit tired. Was up late last night recording. You can always tell how late I'm up based on when I post my Patreon. Sanctum of Ugin. So once again, they definitely have a counterspell. We could just resolve the body of the Myco. That's a thought. And the reason not to? Probably not. And we at least get a body on board, even if they can sign the trigger. Yeah, they can sign the trigger, that's one less thing for us to worry about. Opponent's Tinkin. I will grab Temple and pass. So we draw a land next turn, we have the Devourer. This also means that they flip the Tameo, we can start attacking in at Tameo. But looks like they're not as worried about that as just wanting to draw cards, which makes sense for their game plan. I'll attack with Tameo. Yep. That is fine. Got nothing. Opponent's thinking. Playing Harbinger? Could be Harbinger. Yep, Harbinger's okay. There's an argument to cycle this command now, though. So let's cycle the command. Try and find maybe a return. Lab's fine. A land is a land. We'll pass. Harbinger on board. Land for turn. Emrakul. Play Lab. Play... Yeah, red doesn't really do much here, so play Rumble. Do you have a Spell Snare? You do not. But Jukabog. Grab a Jukabog. 5 types in yard. And pass. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 next turn. So we'll be able to trigger Emrakul Sweet Board. Yep. So they'll need to hold up Counter Magic. For if they don't, they're going to be in a weird position. You could also just Rumble again, try and get Devourer out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tamiyo triggers. They could try flipping Tamiyo. This is a thought. Draw. Play the Verdant Cat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rumble again. This will get me my second colorless source. Yeah. Counterspell makes sense. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Too short. I'll pass. Cracks a clue, draws a card. And pass. Right now just trying to draw out enough counter magic to where we can resolve Emrakul. We do need another color source, so Talisman, another Spawn, etc. Yeah, there's holding. I mean, there's the return. Okay, so... yeah, we can use return as a permission spell. I think we hold the bog then. Yes. If we hold the bog, that makes sense to me. No reason to attack. We'll use this as a permission spell. And if it resolves, we're in a good spot. Cracks a clue, draws a card. Do you want to draw another card? Oh. Because then we could have force checked. Go to attacks. Investigate. I mean, you're going to have to pitch 2 cards. Pitch 1 card. End step. Okay, return. I imagine this draws out a force. Or a counterspell. If it just draws out a counterspell, it means we have 2 returns in yard, which is significant. Counterspell's fine. Null Drift. Yeah, I mean, we can just do this instead. So I think in that case, we're going to attack the Sowing Myco spawn. They should know there should be something of concern if I'm attacking at this point, right? Cast Null Drift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because now you have 4 and only 3. So either give me the body or I sweep the board and draw 2. I mean, I guess you could just give me the draw 2, which is also okay. Opponent's thinking. Well, it's always good to force the K return. So there's Consign. They are going to replicate. The question is what they give me, the body or the draw. Because they can't allow for the triggers. Looks like they're going to give me the draw. No, they're giving me the body. That's surprising. That's actually really surprising. Okay. Pass. When you now give me a 4/4 blocker, Tamio can no longer attack. Annihilator 1 on top of which, I mean, I guess you could have a Shoot the Sheriff. Make Null Drifter an honorary sheriff. But you don't have black, so... Dismember. Okay. I mean, this allows me to start really applying pressure to you, though. Yeah, that's fine. Now I can force you to block. End step. Draw. A second Emrakul. Well, let's go Myco spawn, attack. And here we are again, opponent. You have a consign for everything. I mean, you have enough cards in hand, so it's likely you have another consign. And you do have 4 up. Paying cost, I imagine for the consign. Unless you have summary dismissal, which would be hysterical. Okay, so it looks like it is a consign. Yep. We could play the Bajuka Bog. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So Bog would be 13. We don't need to do that this turn, though, so we'll just pass. Okay. But again, they've put themselves in an awkward position with that Dismember, because now we can really just apply pressure on board, and eventually they're going to have to block this Harbinger. Begins combat. How have they not started to play more threats? I mean, I guess they can't play Bowmaster, anything like that, because they don't have any black sources. Imagine this is a Murktide. Nope, drawn a card. Will you draw another one? Do it. Okay. I mean, this works in my favor. In many ways. Paying cost for Murktide? If you play Murktide, you're dead. Point blank statement. That's the, yeah, that is the game. Without any question in my mind, that is the game right there. I don't think they have any way out of this now. That was way too aggressive for them. They've been playing correctly this entire time by playing pretty passively, but by doing that they ensured their loss. If they would have just held, I mean, even if they would have consigned 2 and like get rid of the body and the trigger and allowed me to sweep, at least Tamiyo can eventually just kind of hold me away. But I guess like time's a factor. If this game 2 continues to go on the way it was going, I mean, they're going to be hard pressed on time for game 3 even if we got there. Even still, I think the Murktide was a bit aggressive. But that said, no idea what was in their hand, though it was a hand of 6 cards, so I imagine something was worthwhile there. But we'll be back for round 3. Alright, and we're back for round 3 on the play for game 1. Let's take a look. I mean, yeah, Temple would be good. Talisman would be okay. We'll keep. It's a little slower than I'd like, I'll admit. So yeah, I think a Temple would get me there. Okay, so there's another thought. We can go Temple, or we can go Rumble. I think we go Temple still, though. And go Lab, Imprint, Devourer, pass. Hold up the ability to respond the off chance it's relevant. Scouting Tarn, Fetch, Sacred Foundry, Shock, Ragavan. God, what? Okay. Yeah. Is this Burn in the undefeated bracket? Interesting. Huh. Was not expecting that. Okay, hold up command again. Trigger. I want to mitigate damage here. So Goblin Guide down. Arid Mesa. Well, Sowing Mega Spawn kicked next turn. Searing Blaze, I can't do anything about that, so we'll take the 3. There's a KGC. Get rid of Sacred Foundry, so they're out of white source. Grab a Temple. And pass. 2, 4, 5. So next turn we do have Devourer. Draw. Utopia Sprawl. Let's go to combat. I'm going to play KGC. Minus KGC, yes, for Chalice of the Void. And pass. So now they have their X2s, but that's fine. So Boris Charm here, Skullcrack, that's fine. Pass. Next turn will Liquid Metal Coating. Opponent passes. And opponent scoops. So this is burn, win for game 1. Interesting. I mean, the only thing I would consider bringing in here is probably a Haywire Might. Maybe another return. Like, we could drop 2 KGC, return Might. Bojuka Bog's not bad because of Barbarian Ring. I guess Cavernous Souls isn't entirely needed. But I think we can just keep, like, this question mark. The thing is, returns only really grab at their creatures, which I mean are relevant, don't get me wrong. Whereas like KGC can grab Chalice. Might's a good blocker though. Yeah, let's do it like this. Run it back. Interesting. I was not expecting to see burn. I will keep reveal, reveal, and pass. There's a Goblin Guide. Finds a Talisman of Impulse. Haywire Might's good as a blocker. That would be fine. Emrakul also is decent. Rumble's okay. We have a command though. I think we might go Might just to extend as much as possible. Yeah, we'll go Might. Imprint. Talisman. Might. Pass. Pass. Command after. Inspiring Vantage. Because right now we really just are wanting to mitigate damage. It's a K return. That's good. Block. Skullcrack? No. Eidolon. Okay. Unfortunately, we can't cast return right now. That's alright, though. To combat. Attack, trigger, Utopia Sprawl. Let's exile Eidolon. Actually, Eidolon hurts them. So maybe exile the Goblin Guide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could block. Guide or Eidolon? Let's go Eidolon. I might just take the 2 here. Because 3, 8. Yeah, they would need 2 pieces of removal, so I'll take the 2. That way we can devour her. Searing Blaze is fine. Bolt Wave is fine. Utopia Sprawl's not doing much. Now we have a threat on board. And we'll Bojuka Bog you. And pass. Alright. Arid Mesa, 2 cards in hand and passing. Sanctum of Ugin will go to attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll probably return Devourer to hand. Fetch, Arid Mesa, Elegant Parlor. Yep. Still 2 cards in. I mean, if they don't bolt to yard, that's weird. And no instant speed on end step. What in the what? Sacred Foundry tapped. Pause on end step. Return Devourer to hand. Sprawl, unfortunate. We'll go to combat. Pass. Down to 7, bolt me 9, pass. We might lose by a turn. Might go spawn. Go to combat. Let's see. 3, 4, 5. This does put me down. So I'm wondering something. If we go down to 8, we are more likely to die to like a double Boros Charm, right? Maybe it's just right to hold the spawn. You know what? Screw it, yeah, we'll just hold the spawn. And pass. See if we just win on the spot. Rift Bolt. I mean, that's... Burn spell's not going at me. So that's fine. Will there be Mega Spawn or not? Let's see here. We'll be taking 1. This is actually fine. Down to 8. Forest. It'd be harder for them to kill Devourer. Triggers. No legal targets for the Devourer. Yes. And I'll choose 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I guess we'll go with a Null Drift. I guess we could go with Emrakul as well. We'll go with Emrakul. And pass. So they need exactly 8 damage to kill me. Opponent scoops it up, and a clean 2-0 win against Burn. We'll be back for round 4. Alright, and we're back for round 4 on the play for game 1. So, I mean, this is a functional hand against energy. This would allow me for a K command X2 on 2. This would allow a decent hand for Rumble. We'll keep this. We'll go Ugin Lab, Imprint, Emrakul, and pass. Hold up the ability to respond. Misty Rain. Fetch. For Breeding Pool. So looking like it might be Grinding Station, yeah. Opal. Amber. Tamiyo. Emery. Might. So that's Metalcraft. Draw. Well, they have Metalcraft regardless when Tamiyo attacks, so we'll play Wooded Foothills and pass. We're just going to get interesting. blue preordain resolves. On top and draw. There's Saga. We'll put a pause on end step here. I'll attack. Deal me 1. Okay. So there's an argument now to where we could play Return to get rid of Metalcraft for a turn. Tis a thought. Tis a thought. Is it beneficial though? That's where I'm not sure. I think we go to end step. We'll take our 1. Tamio activates. Fetch. Commercial District. Love a Karn. World Breaker. We're at 5. So we're not there yet. To Grave. 2 types in yard. Draw. Another Emrakul. Boy. Well, now I kind of wish I had that World Breaker, unironically. Because next turn we would have been able to play it, but next turn might be too late, so it might be a moot point is the problem. I'll cast the Return now. I'll get rid of the Might. So that way they're forced to play another artifact. Could go for the Catacombs the Thin, but I think we go Temple so we can play a 7-mana value spell next turn. And pass. So they can make a Construct, they'll turn on Metalcraft, that's fine. The question comes down to, do they have the win, right? There's Rumble. No, there's Grinding Station. Well, that doesn't bode well for me. Do you have the Breach? Yeah, the Breach. Alright. Well, we'll let opponent play it out. Let them burn time. No point in me conceding, as this will also let me see the entirety of their deck. I mean, there wasn't exactly too much for me to do, unfortunately. So this is Grinding Station. And a loss for game 1. Opponent won't go through the motions. They do play Pith main. There's Jace, so Jace will be the win con here. Yeah, unfortunately, this was just a bit too slow. We had a lot of good hits off the top, but we didn't find them. Bolt. Feels like there's more Bolt main now than there is on Holy, which I'm not against. But more or less, they just go through the motions here until they end up with 0 cards. They'll play Jace. I have no real recourse in that regard. Not to mention, they play 2 win conditions between Grape Shot and Jace. I guess, like, a K command, X equals 2, is a real threat for them, though. Because, yeah, if we, let's say, had X equals 2 K command, we could get rid of Jace and Grape Shot. And that would leave them onto a mid-range game plan with Saga as its threat. But at this point, all they really need to do is escape Moxamber. Oh, I guess not Moxamber, Mox Opal. Oh, did they? Okay, I was about to say. Sacrifice the Mox Opal now. Play Mox Opal, Grape Shot, rinse, repeat. Yep. Easy to do that. Then to go the Jace route. Less time. Excuse me. Mox Opal. Okay, just go Grape Shot twice and you got it. Grape Shot number 1. And that is what? 11 damage? 13 damage? And down to 5. Grape Shot number 2. And dead. So we gained a slight time advantage there in case game 2 goes long. Alright. Well, let's go to sideboard. So, Soulless Jailer, Dismember. And we cut, what again? Let's take a look. Sideboard guide, on the play against Grinding Station, cut Gemstone and return. Yes. And I think that's it. Yeah. Alright, let's run it back. Could be argued that maybe we should bring in the 3rd Jailer. And have Karn be able to grab just Stonebrain, Tormod's Crypt, Might, Chalice, etc. Could be argued. If I did, what would I cut? I guess it'd have to be a 7-mana value spell for it, realistically. But I think the Jailer being fetchable or wishable with Karn is worth it, so keep it as is. Opponent's going to bring Consign. What else, though? I think it really is just Consign for the most part that opponent will bring in. Between 3 and 4 copies. Maybe a Soul Guide Lantern for Graveyard Hate if they don't have one main. I don't think we saw one. We did see the Pith main, which is relevant. But we'll see. Then it's going to be interesting. In just over a week now, it's likely, or at least speculated, that Breach will get banned. That's going to shift the meta pretty dramatically. Brings into question whether or not KGC belongs in this list after the BNR, but I think it will. I think it'll still have a home. I mean, this is a turn to Mycospawn. We'd be angling for Emrakul. We'll keep it. We have some decent hits off the top in K-Command. K-Command, another Mycospawn, Malevolent Rumble, KGC, Soulless Jailer. Like, we have a ton to work with here, so I'm not too worried. We'll go Misty Rainforest, Fetch, Forest, UW Sprawl for blue. Temple, go Mycospawn. I think we go with Ugin Lab, Imprint, Emrakul, play Talisman, leaving just Sanctum. That seems right. Misty Rain, Fetch. Forest, Sprawl, blue. And pass. And pass. Opal. Bobble. Metalcraft Online. Amber. Do you not have any lands? Might have a fetch. there's a fetch. Do you fetch? You fetch. 2 cards remaining. Breeding Pool, Shock, and Passing. I think they have a consign then. We can do a couple of things then. We could go Temple Myco Spawn still. The alternative is that we go Lab, Imprint, Emrakul, Talisman, Pass, but I think we do go Lab, Imprint, Emrakul, Sowing Myco Spawn. And grab Temple. If we don't get consigned. But if we get consigned, that means they only have 2 cards left in hand. Which isn't too much to work with. Huh. Yeah, it looks like there's a consign. Yep, we'll pass. Fetching Bauble, that's interesting, especially as you don't have Metalcraft now. Huh. Okay. Fascinating. Why do that? I mean, I guess you're drawing 2, so the hope is that you find something. There's Tamiyo. There's a land. Amber's online, but Metalcraft is not. I mean, if we find removal for Tamiyo, that would be ideal. Passing. Draw. No removal for Tamiyo. So, Talisman. Temple. Talisman. Pass. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're short 3 on Emrakul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we might still return Emrakul to hand in the case of a Malevolent Rumble. Metalcraft is online. Do you have the win? Fetch, Metalcraft offline. Stomping Ground, Shock to 14. Malevolent Rumble. Grape Shot, Unholy Heat takes Jace or takes Bauble? Takes Jace. Another Rumble. Needle. Needle Karn. Return Emrakul to hand. And draw. Well, that's annoying. Well, in that case, I guess I'll imprint the Emrakul. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Alright, we'll pass it back. I'm not thrilled by this prospect. Yeah, just drawing duds. Like, we have so much off the top that we could draw that would be relevant, and we're drawing none of it. Rumble, whiffs on Consign, whiffs on Flame. Could grab Bauble. Chooses Bauble. Four. What in the... Oh, Jace, okay. Thinking against it, potentially? I mean, it would be able to flip the Tamiyo. Jace. Target player mills themselves. Bauble. 2 unknowns in hand. Go to end step. Gets a clue. And again, we'll return Emrakul. Draw. Bob will target me. Draw. Okay, so command replaces itself and does get a Sanctum. So let me see here. Scry draw. I want to hold that green source, please. I want to get rid of their yard. There might be an argument to actually getting rid of Tamiyo here. I think we're okay. Because if nothing's in yard, then what does it matter? Yes. So 4, 7, 11. I think we guarantee the Myco spawn. We could also go Jailer. Because we have X equals 6 for 7. If we find a Myco spawn, which is more likely, then we can Jailer ensure they can't win. That's also a thought. Between Jailer and Karn, we should be fine. We'll go Jailer. There's the Myco spawn I want. Fortunately, I can't have my cake and eat it too, as much as I would like to go Breaker, so on. So we'll just shuffle. So top. And bottom the rest. And so I could kick Myco spawn here. We'll get rid of Stomping Grounds. That's your only red source short of Metalcraft. Grab an E-Temp. No, we wanted Bog. So maybe we shouldn't have kicked. We'll grab the E-Temp. And then play Jailer. And retrospect, probably should have just gone... Should have just gone non-kicked Bog Jailer. Yeah. That could pose a problem. Chase triggers Tamiyo. Yeah, because that would have gotten rid of a win condition in the way of Grape Shot as well. Yeah, so we did mess up. That could prove to be an issue. We'll see. Turtle, what is your problem this morning? He's like, I want to make as much noise as humanly possible. That is my turtle's goal right now. So yes, we did mess up a little bit there. We should have grabbed Bog. Twas an issue. Now they do have the mid-range game plan online with the Saga. Another Tamiyo's on board. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 minus 4 would not get us there. 14 minus 2 would be... And if I go Myco Spawn, I think we can hold off on the Emrakul. Actually, because I want to get rid of the Saga here as well as grab Bog. So get rid of Saga. Bajuka Bog, target you. So that eliminates a win con from your deck. Unfortunately, I can't effectively attack here. But Tamiyo now has no targets in yard. Jace will mill. I guess it does have the flame now, which is unfortunate, because now they can kill Soulish Jailer. There's the flame. Attack with Tamiyo. No attacks. There's KGC. Now KGC can't do anything, but does lock them down. So let's first off and foremost go to combat. We're going to be attacking Jace. That's their next win con. Jace at 1. Biggest thing is if they try and win. That flame could prove to be an issue. Let's see. I'm trying to think. 4. If we were to spend 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 short. Oof. We would be 1 short. Right? 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. Alright, in that case, we either play Karn or Emrakul. Can't be both. Let's go Emrakul. Thing is, they have the flame. Yeah, we'll play Karn. So now I need a consign. Do you have the consigns? The question. The Pithy Needle still is going to lock down Karn even if it resolves, but at least we then have another lock piece. So you do have the consign, which was the concern. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes. So at this point we pass. Not much else I can do. So now they will likely go flame. Draw 2. So it's possible they just win now. And pass. It's possible, if not entirely likely. Turtle, chill. What are you doing? You just... He is just swimming like directly into a corner. Specifically against the output, so I'm wondering if he just likes the feeling of the water flow. Well, this does likely spell the beginning of the end, unfortunately. There's a breaching yard. Yeah, KGC countered. And flame. There's another opal. Oh, they might be trying to just... Oh. Cast Mox Amber. They might just be trying to mill themselves out. Okay, well, they haven't ticked up Jace. Yeah. Maybe there's an argument that I should have cast Emrakul when they had nothing but a Saga untapped. That way I could have had an Emrakul on board. That was a thought. Because by doing so, then we could have attacked down Jace, but Jace in Yard doesn't necessarily guarantee a win. Huh. I mean, I think the first misplay was me kicking the Myco spawn when I should have just cast it non-kicked in order to get Bog, play Jailer, and pass. Because it's possible if I still had those spawns that I used, right? That we would have been able to go KGC, see the consign, then into Emrakul. And we may have been fine. But maybe not, because then Jace would still be on board. Oh, I guess we could lightning bolt the Jace. Yeah. So I think we had a winning line, and I think the mistake came down to me kicking the Myco spawn when I should have not. Yeah, I think that cost me further down the line. Like, it didn't really impact too much in the immediate, especially as they didn't minus Tameo in that moment in time, which was surprising. But it did, in the long run, cost me. So, unfortunate. A misplay is a misplay, regardless of its overall impact. With that said, we'll be back for round 5. Alright, and we're back for round 5 on the play for game 1. Excuse me. I will keep we have a few hits off the top. That would do us good. Lab would be actually really good, because then we could go Temple, Lab, Curiosity, Rumble. Otherwise, K-Command's good. Forest is good. So we have a decent number of hits off the top here. Opponent either considering the opening 7 or might have stepped away from the keyboard, so we'll be back when they return. Alright, and we're back. Let's take a look-see. Play Temple, Bess. Didn't even realize they had double Devourer triggers. Okay. So this is a mirror match, potentially? Looking like it. There's a KGC. So yes, looking like a mirror match. I mean, if they go Devourer, I was going to say Talisman, that could be a problem. So at this point, we could go Windswept Heath, Rumble. Now, that does mean it's fragile to a K command, whereas right now I don't think, like, unless they have another Ugin Lab into Karn, the Talisman of Curiosity is probably just fine. So I think going Temple, Talisman, and Pass is good here. Okay, so this looks like a command X2. In that case, we'll go Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. Sowing Mycospawn kicked. For green. And we will kick the Temple. Yep. So there's the X equals 2 that we were expecting. I guess there's an argument for maybe going after Ugin's Lab. That way if they tap it, then it's still exiling the Devourer. So I suppose there's an argument there. And we will grab a Ghost Quarter. And I'll just go ahead and Ghost Quarter you now. And pass. Because next turn, we end up with a World Breaker. Land. Sprawl. And anything else? Choose red. There's a Sowing Mycospawn, that's fine. Now they don't have any colorless sources if I get rid of the Temple. Null Drift. So 2, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Windswept Heath, fetch. And we will go with a Forest. Not Malevolent Rumble, I want World Breaker, please. World Breaker, Exile Temple. And opponent scoops it up. Yep, sounds good. This is Eldrazi Ramp. Win for game 1. Let's go to sideboard. Let's bring in Consign and Haywire Might. And drop Return. Since we saw KGC, it's unlikely that they have Airghast. So I think we just run it like this, and we're good to go. On the draw for game 2, I mean, hand is solid. We go Emrakul, Imprint, potential turn 2 KGC. We'll pass. It'll be also find a blue source at some point for Consign. If we draw into a 7 mana value spell, KGC is going to be in a good spot. Let's see what the exile. Rumble. Not seeing a bog is good. That means that our graveyard's safe outside of a KGC. Sowing Mycospawn, okay. Temple, passing, no lab, that's good. Another Temple. Once again, we're looking for a 7 mana value spell off the top, ideally. This also means that they don't have access to Stone Rain on 2, which is nice. Passing. 7 mana value spell, please. Mycospawn. Alright. Well, in that case, we will play Temple and pass. Basically threatening a K command, X equals 2. Windswept Teeth, I imagine goes red. Commercial District resolves. So yeah, likely we'll go with a Stone Rain on 2 if I had to guess. Which will set us back. Or rather on 3. Yep. Stone Rain. I'll float 2 just to threaten, but it is just a display. Alright. 7 mana value spell, please. We'll go with another Temple and pass. I mean, if they're able to land into kicked Mycospawn here, they're going to be in a good spot. Stomping Grounds, tapped. Do you have another Utopia Sprawl? That's fine. So they really don't have anything then in hand. They have 2 Devourers. Talisman. So we can go Stomping Grounds. We could hold up Consign to Memory. That's a thought. Because, yeah, we go Stomping Grounds, Shock, Talisman. That allows us for a Consign X2. Because right now Karn's not doing much. I think we do that. Let's do it like this. And pass. Hold up Consign. Because, yeah, I have Replicate 2. So even as someone Mycospawn, we can just clear. And they play Devourer, that's fine with me. Stone Rain's a bit annoying, but also okay. Yeah. Once again, would love a 7 mana value spell. Seagate Wreckage. The fresh what? Huh. Okay, interesting. 2 Devourers in hand. That's okay by me. Tis a forest. In that case, I think 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's play the Sowing Mycospawn. And grab a Temple. I guess we could also grab Ghost Quarter. That's a thought. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They'll still have 7 regardless. So yeah, I think a Temple is good enough here. And hold up Consign. Yeah, if we just take this slow and steady, we're in a good position, both in time advantage and overall resources. So that is what? 5, 8, 8 plus 3. It's not enough for Emrakul, is it? Consign to Memory, cast. I'm going to say no to that, friendo. And pass. So we can go kicked Mycospawn into Ghost Quarter. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In that case, let's play Lab. Done. Sowing Mycospawn. Kicked. Let's see here. There's an argument to going with a Bajukabog, because 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The alternative is we could just go Exile, Ghost Quarter. Yeah, I think we do that. Actually, we'll Exile. Yeah, we'll Exile. Review. Grab. Ghost Quarter. Remove you. The next turn we can always just go Karn for Tormod's Crypt. And opponent scoops it up. We'll take the win. All right. Well, we'll be back for round 6. All right, and we're back for round 6 on the draw for game 1. Yeah, I mean, this is keepable. It's a Command X2. Unfortunately, no green source for the Rumble. Would have liked that, but you can make this work. See what we end up drawing between now and turn 2, turn 3. Because, yeah, we'd like the Rumble into Emrakul. I will keep. And then I'll pass. Down to 5. Okay, things are looking good. Alright, that keeps 5. Looks like it is Zoo. Temples, Shock for Ragavan. If it is Ragavan, that could have been a problem, but it's not. Ghost Quarter. Play Ugin Lab. Imprint Emrakul. Hold up the Blade Spawn in case it's relevant. Could be in the case of like a Boseiju. White. I'm sorry, what? Excuse me? I am confusion. Huh? Wait, what? Okay. Is this Living End? Am I playing against Living End? That's my only explanation here. Stomping Grounds. Shock. Okay. What is happening? Oh, this is going to be such a pain in the butt match because now I just have no clue what is going on. Temple and pass, hold up K command. We can at least X2 in case it is Living End. I mean, I guess I'll take the 3/4. I mean, I'm trying to think of any other explanation other than it. Huh. Huh. Okay. The main annoying part here is that they can cast the Living End, and I can cast the command X equals 2. Problem is that they can then cycle the Ent in response. Yeah. So we'll scry draw exile. At least this way I only have one Ent in the Bloodbraid. There's Myco. Myco Drifter. Myco's at least a blocker and does ramp us. So I think we do go. I want to go Drifter Topper? No, because Myco can go 1, 2, 3, 4, leave 1. Guess we could then go Rumble. So yeah, bottom the Drifter, top the Myco. Draw. At that point we pass. You'll then cycle the Ent. So that way you get the Ent and the Bloodbraid. Huh. And draw. Sprawl, Cavernous Souls. Name Eldrazi. Cast Mycospawn for green, no kick. And then I'll get a forest. I guess I could alternatively grab a shock land, but I think we'll grab a forest. Cast Rumble. Temple. 5 types in yard and pass. Hold up the ability to respond on the off chance it's relevant. Lush Portico, Surveil Trigger, 2 cards left in hand. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're 1 short of the Emrakul. But if we block the Mycospawn, we won't be. Kavu. Do you have a Seiju? Draco. That's fine. I'll block. Regardless, I end up taking the same amount of damage. 6 types in yard. And draw. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And we can make it uncounterable. And sweep the board. Domain Living End. Weird. Triggers on the stack. Sweep the board. Leaving just the Ent. Pass to our turn, comrade. Fetch with the Arid Mesa. Surveil land. What a weird, weird game. So, like, do I consider this Domain Living End, I guess? Rainbow Living End? Rainbow Living End instead of Rainbow Rhinos? You could suspend this. Draw? Leyline Binding. Well, that's mildly unfortunate. I don't have anything to binding. So I guess we just attack with the Ent. Go to combat. Attack with the Ent. Block with the Emrakul. Binding is specifically a non-permanent and opponent controls. So at this point, I suppose that I just pass and pass. So they obviously will leyline binding the Emrakul. Cycle. Okay. I mean, they could very well just go for another living end, which would be unfortunate because I don't have much in the way of recourse for that right now. Whereas we are able to play KGC, we can go Tormod's Crypt. Cycles for a mountain. We know the last card in hand is a living end. Sacred Foundry tapped. Okay. Draw. Devourer. Ghost Quarter. So we just need 4 mana. So play Talisman of Impulse. Sprawl on you for red. 1, 2, 3, 4 left over. On forest for blue. KGC. Minus KGC? Yes. For Tormod's Crypt. Tormod's Crypt. And pass. Hold up the blade to respond. Incubation resolves. Finds endurance. Okay. So they have endurance as well as whatchamacallit, living end. They could just suspend living end. Okay, they play the endurance. Targeting whose yard? Targeting my yard? Sure. That's fine. And then my turn. Draw. So I can do a few things here. And one more. I'll exile endurance. Minus KGC. Grab a Haywire Mite. Let's be mindful of how the auto tapper works. Play Haywire Mite. Play Rumble. Grab a Windswept Teeth so we can set up for our next draw. Play Windswept Teeth. And pass, holding up the ability to Haywire Mite Leyline Binding. Sign of Draco. We go to end step. Fetch of the Windswept Teeth for a commercial district. Trigger. To yard. Sacrifice Might, target binding. Eldrazi Temple, a bit unfortunate. In that case, we'll plus on KGC. We'll just hold the temple, no reason to be too aggressive here. Attack with Devourer, hold up the Emrakul, and pass. I mean, Emrakul's just going to chill here unless you have a binding, which in that case, then that could present an issue. Paying cost, incubation resolves. I mean, if you were to Living End here, Scion Draco, that's fine. Yes. So we can no longer attack at this moment because they both have First Strike. Yes. Okay. In that case, we'll just hold the ability to respond. And draw. Oofda. View dashboard. Or dashboard, sideboard. Not much else to be done here, unfortunately. I mean, I guess you could kill KGC, but you give up a Scion in doing so. So, I mean, the alternative option is simply to go Chalice on 0 or Jailer on 0. Both are reasonable options. We also could just Stonebrain and name Living End, which is also an option. I mean, they give up a Scion in order to make that a reality. And they would lose? Yeah, they would need a blocker to stay back, otherwise they do lose. Yeah, we just take up Karn in that case and pass. Because, yeah, if they attack all out, we block 1. Does that have Vigilance? It does not have... Oh, it does have Vigilance, so they don't lose, but... Yeah, they would be at a huge disadvantage. Leyline Binding hits the Emrakul. Yes. So now they attack the Karn. Or might just attack me for presenting lethal. Okay. Yes, that checks out now. Not much can be done about that. Draw. Really? Bajukabog, target you. And at this point we pass. Hell, I'm tempted to Ghost Quarter my own land to thin my deck. Jesus. Gain 3 life. I mean, what's our recourse here, short of Emrakul? Short of Emrakul, I'm not sure we have much, actually. Because even a World Breaker I don't think will be enough. Rumble. Yeah, the Draco beats and Solitude, so even with an Emrakul it might not matter. If they grab Solitude... I'll just read lands you control in every basic land. Okay, each non-land permanent you control. So Solitude might not get them there because they need additional land. Kavu won't get them there. Endurance might be acceptable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we could Ghost Quarter even if they pick up Endurance. That would be fine. I mean, yeah, I think we do Ghost Quarter our own land to thin. Because if we draw into another land, we're just SOL. And only our recourse is Emrakul. I mean, if they go another Scion of Draco, yeah, I was about to say, that might just be it as well. So I might just need Malevolent Rumble specifically. Ooh. Ghost Quarter, my own bog. Yes. Forest and Prey. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it, alright. Okay. Only thing I can point to as a misplay of sorts may have been not exiling the Leyline Binding with the Devour, instead exiling the Endurance. Maybe that could have been argued as a misplay. Because then it keeps the Scion with whatchamacallit, first strike, so I couldn't attack him with double Scion. So we want Jailer. I mean, I guess Consign works as well, as it does counter triggers. So Consign could work. Question is whether or not we cut out the returns. The next issue is they could have Inevitable Betrayal. Well, that would be a problem. I'm tempted to bring in a third Jailer, cut the returns, cut the Gemstone, bring in Consign. Bring in Consign. Bog is good though if they keep with Living End. Cavern might be okay to cut. The alternative is we just cut one Jailer out, keep the other one in the side, and go to Consign. Yeah, let's run it like this. I guess we also could have cut the Ghost Quarter. That's another thought. On the play for game 2, I will keep, as we do have the Jailer in hand. Unfortunately, we don't have anything for the Consign, but we will be able to reveal Devourer. Emrakul, Devourer seem kind of out of reach, so we're really just going for Jailer here. Reveal Devourer, trigger. There's the ley line of the Guild Pact. Sprawl would be good. Yes. We'll go Utopia Sprawl. Temple, pass. And pass. I do think we do need to go Jailer on 2. I was not expecting Rainbow Living End. Huh. Flush Partico tapped. And Wooded Foothills into Yard. Draw. And I mean, I guess they could theoretically go on 2. So yeah, I do think it is right for me to go Jailer here and pass. And pass. So let's lock them out of the Cascade plan, but they still have a mid-range game plan in the way of Scion of Draco. Yeah. Draw. Might go. Go with blue. And pass. So he might just die to Scion beats. Okay. Down to 16. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, we might just die to Scion beats. As much as I want to play Mega Spawn, the Rumble might be necessary to go for Emrakul. Yes. Land. Scion for turn. 4 types in yard. Fetch. For green. Sowing Mycospawn. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're short 2. I need a soul land off top. If I don't get it, I think I lose. Even if I get it, we might lose to a consign. Yeah. 'Tis a problem. Down to 7. The Scion beats are here. What a weird list. But it clearly is working for them, so I can't say much about it. There's an Oliphant. Oliphant or Oliphant? Sacred Foundry, Shock. Down to 30. And passing. Soul Land? KGC. KGC does nothing, does it? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. I can push it to 12 if I attack with a Mycospawn and they block, but I doubt they'd be dumb enough to do so. I can't target the Scion with Devourer. And as much as I would like to be able to go Haywire Might and then get rid of the Ley Line, gain 2 so we have 1 more turn, I can't because we're off a land. And nothing in my sideboard will do anything here. May confirm the number of mana I have. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2 short, 1 short even if they were to block. Hell, he even offered up the Jailer. We already have an artifact in yard. Which I don't think I have an out. And the fact that this has flying is rough. Well, that is unfortunate to say the least. Yeah, we have 7, 11. This would be 12. I mean, I'll just play the Devourer. Who knows? Maybe they mess up and don't attack. One could only hope. Devour resolves. No attacks. However, we have no blocks, and that's lethal damage. They have a Leyline binding. Nope. Gearhulk. Sure. Wooded Foothills. Sure. There's a Triumph. And we die. Yeah, it needed to be specifically a World Breaker. And dead. That's an oofta. Maybe there was an argument to going instead of Temple with sowing Mycospawn, instead going Lab. It would have given me a turn, but that turn may have not been enough. Yeah. Because we would have been able to then go Mycospawn. Sure, but then what? So we go up to 9. We go down to 1. If they keep KGC on the board, which, I mean, might be an argument to do. If they don't, then KGC gets added to types in yard. So that would be 6 types in yard. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so I think maybe the line to at least give us a turn, but I'm not sure that would matter. We'd be at 1. Well, I guess it would have mattered, because then Emrakul attacks in, and we would have been able to block. Not Emrakul attacks in, we would have been able to block with the Scion with the Emrakul. They would have a Scion, but like they have 6 cards in hand. They're going to draw 2. I mean, the line would have given us another turn, however, but I mean, it's likely that Emrakul would have gotten hit by a leyline of our leyline binding. So, yes, we made a mistake. We could have got an extra turn out of it and might have survived. But it would have required a few different things to align. Unfortunate. Well, either ways, we'll be back for round 7. Alright, and we're back for round 7 on the draw for game 1. We'll see if my opponent has enough time here, but this hand looks solid. It's a turn 2 Karn. I will keep. I will pass. Steam Vent Shock and Tamiya looking like grinding station, so his turn 2 Karn will be good. Fetch with Wooded Foothill for a forest. You could go Breeding Pool, but they do play Boseiju, so I think, yeah, forest. Utopia Sprawl on blue and pass. And pass. I do think we will imprint the Null Drifter as the Devourer. Might be beneficial to deal with the Tamiyo. Opponent's thinking of cracking the clue here. They do. Draw. Ugin's Lab. Imprint Drift. And KGC. KGC. We could plus on the Amber, put a type in Yard. Am I worried about a Unholy Heat? Ish, yeah. I'll minus KGC. And we'll play things safe, I think, and go for Tormod's Crypt. Tormod's Crypt and pass. There's Saga. Scouting Tarn, passing. Tamiyo attacks at me, triggers, draw, rumble. So we can do a few things here. I will plus KGC on Amber. Play Temple. Play... We'll play Rumble. Grab a... Tempted to grab a Temple just in case. Another Devour might not be bad though. I'll go Temple. Play Talisman of Impulse. Hold up the ability to respond. This way we can block the Saga token. Breeding Pool Shock and Saga token. Thankfully means we can sweep the board. By doing this, they can grab a Pithy Needle named Karn. Alternatively, they could name Tormod's Crypt. This is going to add 2 types to Yard, which isn't going to be enough. Because we'll have Artifact, Land, Enchantment. So I'll let this resolve and see what they name with Pithy Needle. Haywire Might. Were mistakes made? I believe so. They'll attack and attack. I'll block. Hold up the ability to respond. And draw. Devourer of Destiny. I want to exile the Tamiyo. Fetch with the Misty Rain. Okay. Yes. Sweep. Trigger. Resolve. Plus on a clue. And pass. Hold up the ability to respond. And opponent scoops. Because this is Grinding Station. Win for game 1. You want Jailer, Jailer, Dismember, Dismember. Cutting. Ghost Quarter. Return, return, and return. And let's run it back. Maybe someone in the comments can remind me what the time is in order for a DQ, because my opponent was gone for a long while. I'm actually surprised that they didn't, but I mean, I don't really mind one way or another. I'm just more curious for my own sake in case I ever have to step away for a period. This is looking like a turn 2 KGC, so we will keep. Keep. And pass. Bobble. Target self, so they have a fetch in hand. Fetch. Or Surveil Land, or Steam Vent Shock to 17. Haywire Might is fine. Bobble Trigger. And Devourer. So no matter what, we have a turn 2 KGC. I mean, we could just bait them into targeting the Talisman. I think that's okay. And pass. And hold up the ability to respond. Breeding Pool Shock. There's the Rumble. And a hard whiff hitting a Scalding Tarn. Tempted to dismember here. Main reason being is they will be able to attack Karn otherwise. I will dismember. It's strange, but I think it's correct. Draw. Ugin's Lab. Imprint. KGC. Minus KGC. Yes. Again for Tormod script. And pass. And hold. There's a Saga. We have the command for the tokens. Tamiyo resolves. Utopia Sprawl. Play Stomping Ground Shock. Utopia Sprawl on Stomping Grounds for blue. Tick up KGC. And pass. 1, 2. So we will want to command here most likely. mean, we can use command as a permission spell if we really want. Yeah, I've played the Scouting Tarn. There's Grinding Station. End step. K command. Scry draw. Done. Top, bottom, top, top, draw. And I think this should lock us in for the win. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, tempted to hold the break. I know we have another breaker tucked, so yeah, this is fine. Breaker, exile Saga. Fetch, make a construct, that's fine. Shock. Make a construct. Triggers. I mean, we have a blocker. Take up with KGC on the clue, shrink the construct, and pass. We hold. Malevolent Rumble resolves. Otawara is an option. Chooses Saga. That's fine. Opponent scoops. And we got there. Alright, on to round 8. Alright, and we're back for round 8 on the draw for game 1. Hand's kind of meh. I mean, what makes this hand good? A temple would make it better, but not great. A Malevolent Rumble similarly would make it better. So maybe we do keep, I guess, Temple, Lab, Rumble. Yeah, we'll keep it. Reveal Devourer. Bonus down to 5, so this makes this a bit more palatable of a hand. I think Rumble would down to 4. That's wild. I'll reveal Devourer and pass. Concealed Courtyard, Thoughtseize, takes command, I'd imagine. Yes, so we would like a Malevolent Rumble now. No Malevolent Rumble. There's a Sowing Myco Spawn, which is a thought. Yeah, I'll go Myco Spawn. And then Stomping Grounds, tapped, and pass. And pass. And draw. Wooded Foothills and pass. Let's see if they have a Felia. That would be probably... Felia into Overlord would probably be the worst case scenario here. Yep. Alright. Yeah, if you have an Overlord, you could get back into this game. Fetch. Could be a Flicker Wisp. No, no Flicker Wisp. Shadowy Backstreet. Surveil Trigger. Witch Enchanter. No shot. Yeah, I mean, that is probably the best case scenario for them right there. Grab Ketramos. I mean, they are very much back into this match. Rough. So what's our out here? Fetch with Wooded Foothill. Commercial District. Laptop. And pass. Grabs Witch Enchanter. Did they grab Ketramos the first time like I thought? Yes. Lab. Imprint. So we have 4, 6, 9, 10. Imprint Emrakul. Cast. Sowing Mycospawn. Play Eldrazi Temple. And pass. And pass. Next turn we play the Devourer. We can exile the Ketramos if they go that direction. Do you foresee some complications, though? That early Thoughtseize actually did hurt a lot. If we still had the command, we'd be in a much better position, but not having it puts us at a disadvantage. So they know about the Devourers. They know playing Ketramos will get them a trigger at most. But we'll also take 8 down to 9. As mentioned, Ketramos cannot attack. There's Witch Blast, so they have Ketramos and potentially an Ethan, which is concerning. They attack, they flicker Sowing Mycospawn, trigger Ketramos. Overlord also triggers. There's Solitude. So I pick up Solitude. Yep. Whoa, what? Why? Fatal Push? Interesting. Draw. Temple. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right now, Ketra cannot attack or block. So we could just as easily exile the Felia and hold up the Overlord. However, they do have Solitude, which will present a problem. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. Actually, yeah. So thinking about it here, right? If we play Devourer, let's say we exile Overlord. They can attack in for 4. Flicker the Devourer. We have to exile either the Felia or the Overlord. That much is a guarantee. The problem with leaving them the Overlord is they can pick up a white creature and then pitch for the Solitude. So So I think I do need to get rid of the Overlord. 2, 4, 7, 8. So yes, Devour of Destiny. Devour exiles the Overlord. So that's 4, 5. 5 cards in exile currently. 4, 8, 10, 11. We're too short on the Emrakul, which is concerning. KGC could sweep the Felia out of the way. No, we'd be one short, wouldn't we? We might just need a blocker. Well, we're going up against Blink, that much is clear. It really comes down to whether or not they're able to either evoke and or cast the Solitude. Right now the number of cards exiled is 5. I guess technically it'll move to 6 when Felia attacks, but Ketchamos won't be able to then. If they evoke, they can push it up to 7 and attack me for 8. Of course I'll gain 6, so it's only a loss of 2 down to 7. That could pose an issue. What I really need is to get this Emrakul on board. But short of a Malevolent Rumble, I don't foresee that happening. Even if I were to play KGC, you won't really have much we can do with it. There's the Evoke Solitude, so yes, now they can attack with Ketchamos. Do you have an EFEM? Ketchamos is now online. Here's Relic. Yikes. Select the Wooded Foothill. So now it's 7 regardless of whether or not we return Emrakul. We're drawing 2 more cards off the Relic. Shadowy Backstreet trigger. How can we navigate this? I mean, a Malevolent Rumble is the only way I can really foresee getting out of this situation. I mean, a Devour will get rid of Ketchamos, sure. That would be nice. Felia can flicker the Relic. Draw another card. Yep. Now, mind you, this could be to their detriment if we're able to ever take control of their turn. But we also have to deal with lethal on board right now. So I either need 2 blockers, or we need to be able to get rid of a Ketchamos. Draw. Null Drift. Null Drift is tempting. The thing is, we play Null Drifter, it does nothing, right? It gets blinked by Felia and we die. Even if I were to find a way for KGC into Torpor Orb into Null Drift, that's still not enough. So our only recourse here that I can see is a Cavern of Souls named Eldrazi. Evoke Null Drifter. Blue and colorless. Let's see what we can find off the Evoke. Two, four, five, six, and we find Jackal. Ooh. Yeah, that there will do it, unfortunately. So even if a mulligan down to 4, opponent was able to make it out. I mean, Felia Overlord, strong combination, so it checks out. And the turn 1 Thoughtseize on top of all of that. Makes with a bit of a slow start. They had a good thing going. So we want to bring in Dismember, want to bring in Consign. Cut 2 KGC, cut Bajuka Bog, cut 1 Return, and let's run it like that. I guess I could cut a Gemstone and bring in 1 more Return. Yeah. The alternative is, of course, just bringing in 1 more Karn, but I think the 1 more Return makes sense. Alright, well, we'll have to wait and see what comes of game 2. But that was a rough game 1. They had all the right cards at the right time. But that's Magic for you. Always a little bit of variance involved. Actually, not even a little bit, a lot of it. I mean, the game is very much luck-based. As much as we do apply skill to it, luck takes the wheel for the majority of the time. The opponent's going to bring in probably Vindicate, maybe some more White Orchid Phantoms. So you have to be mindful of the land destruction plan. On the play for game 2. We can keep this. It's actually a really solid hand if we don't get disrupted. Forest, Sprawl Blue, and pass. And pass. Hopefully no turn 1 Thoughtseize. Turn 1 Thoughtseize. I mean, you could take KGC, as I do have the turn 2, otherwise you would take Rumble, but I think KGC is correct. I suppose the alternative is taking Emrakul, but we still get the turn 2 KGC. So I think the KGC is correct. Not to mention we have some shenanigans with Karn here. If we go turn 2 KGC minus for Torpor Orb, play Torpor Orb, and then Null Drift. That'd be the idea. We'd need to draw into a land though, if so. There's the KGC, so no shenanigans there. Imprint, Emrakul, and cast Talisman, cast Rumble, there's a lab, and a returning yard, so we can sweep board next turn, which is nice. Otherwise we can play Null Drifter, as long as they don't interact with our mana. Thankfully they can't turn 2 Vindicate, but they can very well play a White Orchid Phantom here. Let's see what they got. Plays of Plains, okay. Pest Control. Yes, that will resolve. That puts me down I will imprint the Null Drifter and pass. 5 card types in yard. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 are one short of the Emrakul. On end step, we return Null Drift. Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's Emperor Bone, so that will take the return from yard. At least I'd imagine so. A tad unfortunate. Not the end of the world, but still. Yep. And put a pause on end step. Return Drift to hand. Draw. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cast Null Drift. Triggers. Sanctum of Ugin and a Sprawl. We'll pass. We do have a land in yard, but they're going to take two types out of yard by taking the K command. So it pushes me down to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So keeping Emrakul at bay to say the least. But they do have to deal with the 4/4 Annihilator 1, which is relevant. Opponent's thinking hard on this. Puts Flicker Wisp into yard. I guess they could have Flicker Wisp the Ugin Lab. That was a thought. I mean, it could also block the Null Drift. Marsh Flats. Fetch down to 16. For 4 mana, what do they have? Overlord the Belcher. Could grab another Emperor Bones or a Dothi Voidwalker. I mean, keeping this Emrakul at bay should probably be your top priority. So another Emperor Bones may not be a bad idea. Otherwise, Flicker Wisp would be able to flip the Overlord. So they have a lot of good options. Question is, which one's the right one? I will say, if this does push to game 3, opponent is at quite the time deficit, which is advantageous for us. They choose Flicker Wisp. Okay. So they are intending to flicker the Overlord. Emperor Bones takes Kozilek's command. That would be the right play. I guess it only cuts me of 1 type, down from 5 to 4 because of Dismember. Hold the phone. Flicker Wisp. I'm gonna flicker the Overlord now. You also could flicker something on end step. Fascinating. Let's go for it. We'll offer the trade. What does it flicker, though? Okay, so that is correct. Fortunately, I do not have a 7-mana value spell to imprint. No Emrakul. There's a Dismember. Verdant Catacombs. Imprint for... we could go blue. Could go red. We have Dismember for the Overlord. So chances are they will flicker. Which Blessed Meadow? Flicker Wisp hits Overlord. Overlord goes to exile. End step. Flicker Wisp. ETB trigger. There's White Orchid Phantom and Solitude. I'm tempted to Dismember here, but I'm also gravely concerned about an EFM absolutely shafting me. Chooses Solitude. That checks out. Verdant Catacombs, up to 7 types in yard. Commercial District. Trigger. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Top. Dismember. See that EFM. Overlord down. Draw. Sanctum of Ugin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see if they have something to pitch to Solitude. The next question is whether or not we trigger this and go for another Emrakul, or we go for a Drifter to draw. I mean, Drifter might be worth it. Yes. Drifter to draw deeper. Drink from the well. We could even evoke here, but I'll hold off on that. So if they have the Thoughtseize, we'll use it on them. Do you have the Solitude? You do. What did they pitch? Ketramos. And Ophelia. Okay. Ketramos in hand. Well, that's unfortunate. A Plains. Well, what I can do then is I can attack with Ophelia, Flicker Wisp, and get rid of a land, I suppose. Now we could even Flicker Ophelia. You take 2 as a result, but this would mean they wouldn't be able to draw off Ketramos. Yeah, let's do that. Go to main. Go to combat. Attack with Ophelia. Trigger target Flicker Wisp. I'll take the 2. End step. Triggers on the stack. Flicker Wisp will flicker Ophelia, so Ophelia's off board, and then we pass in full. No Felia for you, please. Plays a Plains. Plays a Ketramos. Attacks for 3. I will cast Null Drifter. Draw 2. Jesus. Stomping Grounds tapped and pass. Well, that was the worst draws we could have found. I mean, the alternative was going to be to grab another Emrakul. Maybe that may have been the right move after all. They can attack for 5, flickering the Null Drifter. Ketramos will trigger as a result. Down to 12. We'll take 5, go down to what, 18? Got a Shrine tap, 2 cards remain in hand. Null Drifter returns. Still on end step. What you got, opponent? March? Looking like it. Draw. Jesus. Pass. So that's going to be 5, 9. Down to 9. Got to be joking. We dug how many deep? 3, 4 deep, and we saw nothing with the drift, or saw nothing off the top. I mean, if we had the Emrakul, I think we would have ended up winning. Thoughtseize sees nothing. You're welcome. Brutal. Oh, don't tell me you have an Emperor Bones? Okay. Actually, no, that's still an issue, because if you grab Emperor Bones now, you can grab Null Drifter, which isn't the end of the world, but that would move it from 9 up to 13, leaving me at 5. Returns Emperor Bones. Yeah, that's a problem. Emperor Bones targets, hits Null Drifter. I mean, the alternative is you could hit Overlord of the Belcher, I suppose. Same thing with White Orchid Phantom. White Orchid Phantom would be a sinkhole. I mean, we can play everything that's in our deck right now, but I'm not sure it's going to matter. White Orchid Phantom, that's fine. Yeah, my thought was with the... whatchamacallit... with grabbing Null Drifter is we dig too deep. Versus if we just play the Emrakul, then it's possible they might just get Solituded again, right? Just get removed. So it might be a moot point. Up to 11, down to 9. Oh boy. No. We can still play anything in our deck for what it's worth. Draw. World Breaker I don't think is going to be enough, because Ketramos is not a enchantment since it doesn't come from Theros, even though it is a god. We can exile the Overlord of Belcher. We can block, let's say... Actually, no, he won't, because Felia will flicker Do we have a returning yard? We do not. So when it gets flickered, we'll take 3, 6, 10. That's lethal damage, and I will concede. Oofda. I mean, even if I had gone Emrakul, I suppose, then they would have grabbed Overlord. Overlord would have grabbed Solitude. Solitude would have done that. Yeah, so not sure it would have mattered, but our draws were just hot garbage, unfortunately. It is what it is. Well, I think this solidifies that we are not making top 8, but we will play out this last round 9. We'll be back shortly. Alright, and we're back for round 9 on the play for game 1. Let's take a look-see. It's okay. I mean, this allows me for a K return on 3 and a K command X1. What makes this hand good? A lab. A lab would make it hit pretty good. I'll keep it. It's a bit awkward, but it is doable. Let's go forest, pass, and pass. So yeah, lab. Oh, hold on one second. Is this freaking? It is. There's the temple we were looking for. Okay. Let's go Talisman of Impulse, pass. And pass. We need a KGC ASAP. Soin Megaspawn would also be good. Lab. Lab, Imprint, Emrakul. 2, 4, 5, 6, pass. Hold up K command. Lotus Bloom. Land, and looks like they will pass, but pause on end step. I need to hold up 1 in case of a Jawari disruption. Resolves. Bottom all. Draw. Malevolent Rumble. There's KGC. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, it'd be net neutral. Sanctum of Ugin. If I go 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, trigger, we only have 3 left over. So that's not really great. In that case, I'm gonna rumble here. There's the Sowing Mycospawn that we're looking for. Kick Sowing Mycospawn. And get rid of the plaza. So it sets them back a turn. We could go Ghost Quarters. They can no longer Jawari Disruption. So we could go KGC. The next option would be a Ghost Quarter. Ghost Quarter, Plaza. That Lotus Bloom. Let's go Temple. Resolve. KGC. Do you have a Commandeer? Opponent scoops it up. We got there. Belcher. Win for game 1. So we have Soulish Jailer. We want to cut the returns. But Jukabog probably can get cut as well. We can bring in Consign to Memory. Though honestly, I'm kind of tempted to just bring in Jailer, the third Jailer. 2 Consigns is an option too. Yeah, let's go with Consign. And run it back like this. Because it can consign the trigger, the suspend trigger, or rather the cast trigger for Lotus, not Lotus Field, but Lotus Bloom. I will keep Reveal Devourer and pass. Trigger. Temple. Yes. Well, we could go Talisman. Actually. Talisman. Imprint. Cast. Pass. Hold up Consign. Coast. And pass. Draw. Temple. Cast Sowing Mycospawn. Sowing Mycospawn trigger. Do you have a Consign? You do not. We'll grab Ghost Quarter. And opponent scoops it up. Clean 2-0 win. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing about Belcher. I think as long as Ramp exists, Belcher cannot. And I think the same thing kind of goes for Broodskale. Like, if Broodskale ever rises in meta share, it's just so easy for this deck to pivot and reintroduce KGC if KGC gets removed. Yeah. Eldrazi Ramp is just a very flexible deck, which I do like. That said, that there will end today's challenge. Unfortunately, no top 8 for me. That just wasn't in the cards. However, definitely a solid finish, resulting in what? 6-3? 6-3 record, which I think is pretty respectable. Based on breakers, probably looking upwards in the top 32, maybe top 64. But regardless, I'm happy with the results. I think I probably could have played a little bit better in my first Grinding Station matchup. And the Living End one was interesting. I think, again, I probably could have given myself a turn. But it is what it is. And there's Blink. I don't know what to say about that one. That one just came down to my opponent drew better. It is what it is. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. But overall, Eldrazi Ramp, fantastic deck. I imagine it's only going to get better post BNR as well as the next set release. That being said, as always, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please do consider hitting the like button, comment down below if you did see any mistakes that I made, any lines that I missed, or just some general feedback. For as much as I hope that you all learned from me in both my successes and my failures. I hope that you all learn, that I can all learn. I'm struggling, folks. I hope that I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you haven't already and have reached this point in the video, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. We're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. With that being said, folks, I'll see you next time. Bye bye!